It's a rainy night on a deserted road outside the city. A man in a pickup truck stops when he sees police lights flashing ahead. He gets out and freezes. A policewoman lies motionless next to a wrecked patrol car. Blood is everywhere. She whispers weakly, "Stand back. They're not coming." He immediately rips off his jacket, cuts her seatbelt with a knife, and presses hard on the wound. As she begins to fade, he calmly says, "Stay with me. I've seen worse. You're not dying tonight." An hour later, in a hospital room, a police captain looks at her perfectly stitched wound. His hands are shaking. Who the hell did this? This is military precision. Jack Rowan, 40, a single father. He wakes at 5:30 every morning in a small house on the outskirts of town. The kind of place where neighbors wave but don't ask questions. In the kitchen, he's making lunch for his daughter, Ella. She's 10 years old, bright-eyed. She always asks why he has scars on his arms. He never tells her the truth. The truth is complicated. Jack Rowan used to be someone else, a combat medic in the Special Forces. A soldier sent when everything went wrong, to places unmapped, saving lives under fire, stitching wounds in the dark, keeping people breathing when death was already upon them. But that was before the explosion that killed his wife, Sarah, during a routine identity check 5 years ago, before he realized the drug cartel operating in their area was the same one he encountered abroad before he gave it all up. Now he drives a truck, hauling supplies to rural stores, living a quiet life, raising Ella alone. On his wrist is a black rubber bracelet with faded letters carved into it. Never leave the fallen. It's 11 o'clock at night when Jack finishes his final drive. Rain pounding the windshield. The road through the woods is empty, dark. Most people avoid this route at night. Jack isn't bothered by the silence. Then he sees flashing red and blue lights, barely visible through the rain. An overturned patrol car. Smoke billows from under the hood. Jack slows down. Every instinct tells him to call 911 and keep driving. Don't interfere. You're not that person anymore. But he stops. He always stops. Jack grabs a flashlight and steps into the rain. Up close, the wreckage looks worse. The car has flipped at least twice. Shards of glass are everywhere. The driver's door is crushed, and inside, leaning against the steering wheel, sits a young woman in a police uniform. Officer Sarah Miles's badge reflects in the flashlight. She's 29, 18 months on the force. Tonight, she was tracking a cartel alone. Big mistake. Her eyes are half open. Blood is streaming down her face. Her vest is torn, a deep laceration in her stomach. She tries to speak in a barely audible whisper. "Back up. We called them 20 minutes ago." Jack checks her pulse. Her breathing is weak, shallow. She's losing blood quickly. He takes out his phone. No signal. The forest is blocking everything. Sarah grabs his hand. Her grip is surprisingly strong. "If you run, they'll find you too. They're watching." Jack truly looks at her. He sees the fear, the pain, the resignation. He sees his wife. Not the same face, but the same uniform, the same situation, the same chances slipping away. He takes a breath and says, "Then I guess we both have to fight." Jack runs back to his truck. In the back, hidden under the tarp, an old military-issue first aid kit. He kept it, I don't know why, maybe just for this moment. He returns to the car. Sarah's eyes close. "Hey, stay with me. What's your name?" "Sarah." "Okay. Sarah, I'm Jack. I'll get you out of here, but you need to stay awake. Talk to me. Tell me, why did you become a cop?" She tries to smile through the pain. "Wanted to make a difference." "A good reason." Jack assesses the damage. The wound needs immediate treatment. The car could explode at any second. The smell of gasoline is thick in the air. He makes a decision. Time to be that man again. Jack works fast. First, he cuts Sarah's seatbelt with his tactical knife. The blade is old, but sharp. Muscle memory takes over. His hands don't shake. Sarah groans as he shifts her weight. The wound is worse than he thought. A deep puncture, possible internal bleeding. "This is going to hurt," he says. "Everything already hurts." Fair point. From his medical kit, he takes out hemostatic gauze, trauma tape, and surgical clamps. Tools he hasn't touched in years. They seem familiar. He cleans the wound. Sarah screams. He doesn't scream. "Stop. I can't stop. If he stops, she'll die." "Talk to me, Sarah. Who did this to you?" Through clenched teeth, followed a suspicious drug cartel. "Contacted. They ran me off the road." Jaws Jack. Titans. Cartel. Always a cartel. How many? 2 cars. Maybe 6 people. They left me here. They think you're already dead. Let's leave it like this. He bandages the wound tightly. He carries her away from the wreckage, 20 feet, 30, 50 behind them. The patrol car's engine sparks. Get down. Jack lunges at Sarah. The car explodes. A fireball erupts. The forest lights up with heat. Heat envelopes them. Metal shards whistle overhead. For a moment, everything is engulfed in fire and noise, then silence. Only the rain and the crackling of flames. Sarah looks at Jack. His face is lit by the burning debris. You're crazy. People tell me that a lot. He checks her wound again. She's still holding on. He takes out his phone. Still no signal. They're too deep in the woods. We need to get you to the road. The ambulance won't find us here. I can't walk. I know, I'll carry you. Jack lifts her again. Fireman's carry. She's dead weight. Shock is setting in. He needs to move fast. It's half a mile to the road, uphill, in the rain, with a dying woman on his shoulders. Jack has done worse. He starts walking. Every step is agony. Not for him, not for her. Every movement jars the wound. Sarah winces, but doesn't complain. Tell me, about your daughter, she asks weakly. What? Is Ella's drawing in your jacket pocket? Jack almost smiles. Of course she noticed. Even half dead, still a cop. She's 10, too smart. Smart. Keeps asking why I don't teach her to sew. Why don't you want to? Because I don't want her to need that skill. Sarah is silent for a moment. Your wife? Was she a cop? Jack's steps falter for a second. How do you know? The way you looked at me? Like you've seen this before. She died 5 years ago. Well, the same cartel ambush. Sorry, don't apologize. Just stay alive. That's all I ask. They reach the road. Jack carefully lays Sarah down. He flags down a passing truck. The driver takes one look and calls 911. 15 minutes later, sirens, lights, an ambulance, and 3 police cars. Paramedics rush to Sarah. They cut open her uniform. They see the wound. They see the bandage. One of them, a seasoned paramedic named Rodriguez, looks at the stitches. Who did this? Asks another paramedic. He shakes his head. This is military-grade medical care. Whoever did this saved her life. Without it, she would have bled out in 10 minutes. The police surround Jack. Questions fly in the air. What's your name, Jack Rowan? Did you see who did this? No, I just found her. Are you a doctor? No. Then how the hell did you do that? I was a medic a long time ago. The police captain arrives. Captain Marcus Stone, a 30-year veteran, looks at Sarah being loaded into the ambulance, then at Jack, then at the exploded patrol car in the distance. You carried her about half a mile through a potential crime scene. She was dying. You didn't have time to worry about evidence. Captain Stone studies Jack carefully. Jack studies him carefully, sees the old scars, the calm demeanor, the way he stands like he's been in battle. What is your full name, Jack Rowan? Are you military? Jack hesitates, then stops. Which unit? Does that matter? It does to me. Jack meets his gaze. Special Forces combat medic, honorably discharged 5 years ago. Captain Stone nods slowly, like the pieces of a puzzle falling into place. We'll need a statement tomorrow. Right now, I need to get home to my daughter. Jack turns to leave. Captain Stone calls after him. Mr. Rowan. Thank you. You saved one of our own today. Jack pauses, doesn't turn around, just did what anyone should do. He walks to his truck, opens the door, and notices something on his wrist. The bracelet is gone. It must have fallen during the rescue. He glances back at the ambulance. Sarah is being loaded inside. She's conscious, looking at him. Their eyes meet across the distance. She raises one hand, loosely clasping his black bracelet around her wrist. Never leave the fallen. Jack nods and drives off into the night. 3 days later, Sarah Miles wakes up in County Hospital. White walls, beeping machines, painkillers coursing through her veins. Captain Stone sits next to her bed, his face serious. How are you feeling? He asks. Sarah tries to sit up, wincing as if she's been hit by a truck. What happened to the case? Forget the case. Tell me about the man who saved you. Sarah closes her eyes. She remembers. Tall, maybe 6 feet 8 inches, dark hair streaked with gray, about 40. Calm under pressure, very calm, like he's done this 1,000 times. What did he say? She said, I didn't die tonight, he's seen worse. She pauses. The captain, whoever he was, he knew exactly what he was doing. Military trauma, impeccable field work. He carried me half a mile in the rain. Captain Stone takes out a clipboard and shows her a photo. Is that him? Sarah looks at the screen. A photo of Jack Rowan's driver's license. Yes, that's him. Who is he? That's what we're trying to find out. The investigation advances. Jack's military history is displayed on the screen, much of it classified. Black marks everywhere, secret missions, but some details remain. Jack Rowan, a Special Forces combat medic with 7 deployments to covert locations, a Silver Star recipient, an expert in tactical medicine and emergency trauma care, honorably discharged from the military 5 years ago after the death of his wife. Captain Stone reads the name of Jack's late wife, Sarah Rowan, a patrol officer killed during a botched drug bust. Detective Reeves opens the case file. The suspects were never caught, but intelligence pointed to cartel involvement. The same cartel that is now operating in their county. Oh my God, Captain Stone whispers. Was he hunting them or avoiding them? Reeves counters. He left the military and became a civilian. If he wanted revenge, he would have done it already. Maybe he's waiting for the right moment. 2 detectives pull up to Jack's house. It's 8 a.m. Jack is in the kitchen making pancakes. Ella is sitting at the table doing her homework. Everything is normal, calm. The doorbell rings. Jack knows who it is. Before he opens the door, he sees an unmarked car pull up. Mr. Rowan, it's me. I'm Detective Reeves. This is Detective Park. We'd like to ask you a few questions about the incident that occurred 3 nights ago. I've already given my statement. We have a few more questions. May I come in? Jack looks back at Ella. She looks curious. Give me a minute. He returns to the kitchen and kneels down next to Ella. Honey, I need to talk to these people. Can you go to your room and finish your homework? Am I in trouble? No, a little, but I'm fine. Ella looks worried. Jack kisses her forehead. It's okay, I promise. She leaves. Jack lets the detectives in. They sit in the living room. A small room, modest furniture. But Detective Reeves notices something on the wall, a box of medals and ribbons. A purple heart, a bronze star, and in the center, a silver star. She points out, quite an impressive collection. Jack doesn't look old. Detective Park opens his notebook. Mr. Rowan, we've reviewed your military history. You were a Special Forces combat medic, an expert in trauma care. That's not a question. Why didn't you mention that when we asked how you saved Officer Miles? I asked if I was a doctor, I said no. You asked if I was a medic, I said I used to be. You answered honestly. You were being evasive. Jack looks him in the eye. I wanted to talk privately. There's a difference. Captain Stone enters the house. The detectives weren't expecting him. He must have been waiting outside. Mr. Rowan, we need to talk about what you mean. Why is a decorated Special Forces medic driving a delivery truck in the middle of the desert? Jack stands up. Is that illegal? No. But it's interesting, especially when that same medic saves a cop investigating the same cartel that killed his wife 5 years ago. The room goes silent. Jack's expression doesn't change, but his hands tighten slightly. I don't understand what you're implying. Captain Stone steps closer. I'm not implying anything. I'm stating the facts. Your wife, Sarah, was killed by cartel members during a roadside identification check. The case was deadlocked. You left the military immediately afterward, moved here, kept quiet, and now you're saving an officer investigating the same organization. Coincidence? I don't believe in coincidences. Jack's voice drops. What do you want from me? Captain Stone drawls. Jack sits down in a chair. Officer Miles is alive thanks to you, but she's still in danger. The cartel knows she's alive. They'll come for her again. Protect her, that's your job. We're trying, but we're outgunned. These people have military-grade weapons, tactical training. They know how we operate. We need someone who thinks like them. Jack shakes his head. No, we need a tactical consultant, someone who understands combat medicine, ambush tactics, counterinsurgency. I said no, why? Jack points to the hallway where Ella disappeared. Because I have a daughter who needs a father, not a corpse. Detective Reeves says quietly, Mr. Rowan, if we don't stop them, how many more officers will die? How many more wives will lose their husbands? How many more daughters will lose their fathers? Jack looks at her, then at the medals on the wall. He thinks of Sarah Miles, a brave young woman, bleeding in the rain. He thinks of his wife, the same uniform, the same devotion, the same destiny. He thinks of Ella. What would she want from him? The answer comes to him clearly. She would want him to ensure that no other child loses a parent the way she did. Jack takes a deep breath. I won't consult with anyone anymore. I don't go out into the field. I don't carry a gun. I analyze tactics and teach your people to survive. That's all. Captain Stone extends his hand. Deal. They shake hands. A polished note, written in shaky handwriting. Never leave the fallen. Thank you for not leaving me, Sarah M. Jack looks at it for a long moment, then places it back on his wrist where it belongs. 2 weeks later, Jack stands in the police training room. 15 officers watch him. Sarah Miles sits up front, still recovering but determined. Captain Stone introduces, "This is Jack Rowan, former SWAT medic. He will teach you how to survive." Jack steps forward. The first 60 seconds in a crisis determine whether you live or die. I'm here to make sure you survive. 3 hours of training, tourniquets, wound packing, pressure points. Jack corrects their techniques. A professional patient. After the class, Sarah approaches. Thank you for everything. How is your recovery going? Slowly but surely. She pauses. Captain, he told me about your wife. I wish you could have known. Is that why you saved me? Jack thinks. I saved you because it was the right thing to do. But yes, I saw her in you. Same uniform, same courage. Sarah's eyes fill with tears. We're closing in on a cartel that's raiding their warehouse in 3 days. The captain wants you there as a tactical consultant. Jack hesitates. I'm not going. On the battlefield, just observe. Your judgment can save lives. He thinks of the young officers. Good men. Inexperienced. Fine. But I'm staying in the command vehicle. Agreed. 3 days later, at dawn, 20 officers surround the warehouse. Jack sits with Captain Stone in the mobile command center. Radios are everywhere. Team 1 in position, Team 2 ready. Team 3 has Stone. He looks at Jack's advice. Jack studies the screen. The back exit is probably booby-trapped. Keep Team 3 away, they'll escape. How do you know? Because that's what I do. The raid begins. Flashbangs, screams, chaos inside. 6 cartel members are surrounded, outgunned. Their leader, Vargas, runs for the back door, just as Jack predicted. Team 3 waits. Freeze, police. Vargas pulls out the detonator. Smiles. Come any closer, and we all die. Sarah's voice on the radio. Captain, he's got explosives. Jack grabs the microphone. Sarah sees the wire from the detonator. Yes, the red wire. Where does it connect? The pressure button on the door frame. Jack's training is triggered. Don't let him touch that door. The building will explode. Fire a shot. Silence. Then Sarah. Calm. Copy. 1 shot. Clear. Vargas goes down. The detonator falls harmlessly. The target descends. The building is secured. The officers exit. All suspects are in custody. No casualties. Stone exhales. Too close. Jack nods. Always later, at the debriefing, everyone is exhausted but alive. Captain Stone addresses the room. We shut down a major cartel operation tonight. Not a single officer was killed or injured. That's because of preparation, training, and one man who didn't let us fly blind. He looks at Jack. Jack Rowan reminded us why we wear that badge. To protect, to serve, to never abandon the fallen. The room fills with applause. The officers who doubted him now stand and salute. The respect is well earned. Sarah approaches with something in her hands. To Jack, a silver star. It's a place in the precinct, so everyone remembers what true bravery looks like. Jack tries to protest. I didn't do it for the recognition. Sarah smiles. I know. That's why you deserve it. She pins the medal to the wall of honor next to the fallen officers. Jack looks at it. His old life and his new purpose finally connected. Captain Stone shakes his hand. If you save my officer, you saved my crew. We owe you everything. Jack looks around. Young faces, grateful faces, alive faces. You don't owe me anything. Anything, just promise me one thing. What is it? Come home safely to your families every night. Stone nods. That's a promise. As Jack leaves the station, the officers line up in a hallway of respect, each nodding as they pass. Sarah walks him out. You changed everything here. You know that, right? Jack looks back at the station. The lights are on. The officers are inside. Safe. No, I just reminded them of what they already knew. He gets in his truck and drives home to Ella, to peace and purpose. The hero who never wanted to be one. A year later, Jack stands in front of a small classroom. 20 civilians sit in front of him. Nurses, teachers, truck drivers, regular people who want to learn how to provide emergency medical care. A sign hangs above the door, Rowan's first aid training, because everyone should know how to save a life. Ella sits in the back row. 13, now watching her father teach. Pride is in her eyes. Jack is demonstrating CPR on a mannequin. Most people freeze in emergency situations. It's normal, but if you know what to do, you can overcome that fear. Muscle memory kicks in. A student raises her hand. What if we did? I thought you might like to see this. We closed your wife's case. DNA evidence finally came in. 3 arrests, all cartel-related. Jack opens the folder, sees the photos of the men Sarah killed. He feels nothing. No anger, no satisfaction, only closure. Thank you. This won't bring her back. No, but it means she didn't die in vain. They stand in comfortable silence. Then Sarah asks, have you ever thought about coming back full-time to consult for the department? Jack shakes his head. This is my place. I train civilians, give them skills I hope they'll never need. It's quieter here, easier, less dangerous. Ella comes out, sees Sarah, and waves. Hi, Sarah. Hi, baby. Your dad's teaching you all his secrets. Some of the really cool things he won't teach me until I'm older. Jack ruffles her hair, because really cool things are also really scary things. They watch as Ella gets into the truck. Sarah turns to Jack. You know what I realized? You never stop being a soldier. You just change your mission. Jack muses. Maybe, or maybe I finally understand what I've been fighting for all this time. For what? Not glory, not revenge, just making sure good people can come home to their families. Sarah nods, understanding, gives him a short hug. The world needs more people like you. The world needs more people like everyone. We all have something to give. She leaves. Jack walks to his truck. Ella plays music, singing off-key. He gets in, starts the engine on the dashboard. His black bracelet hangs from the mirror. The words, "Never abandon the fallen," are visible on it. He doesn't wear it anymore. He doesn't need it, because he will abandon no one. Not anymore, never. He drives home into the sunset. His daughter is by his side. His purpose is clear. A former soldier, a single father, a teacher, a man who stopped at the scene of an accident and changed everything. Subscribe if you believe courage never retires.